on the live. All right, we're going to talk about it this morning. Let's let's discuss it, okay? All right. So manifestation. Everybody manifests whether they realize it or not. Okay. So whether you think you do or you think you don't, or you're unaware that you do, okay. Everything in your life is manifestation. Everything. Your friends, your friend group, okay? That's what you've manifested. Your belongings, whatever you have, whatever you own, okay? Your job, whatever you do, okay? And your natural talents and your natural gifts are in the kingdom. Okay, Jesus Christ said, the kingdom is within. Okay. But we've been manipulated so much by so many things, by so many systems of things, okay, that it's very difficult sometimes to find that reality, okay, the reality of who we really are. Some people don't know who they are. Some people go through life not knowing who they are. Okay, I know it's crazy, but it's because of the subconscious. It's not because of anything else. Okay, it's not because they're bad people. It's not because they're ignorant. It's not because of anything like that. It's because of their subconscious. 95% of your life goes in a circle. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, the things. Okay, so these are a myriad of things. They're not just one thing. They're not just a couple of things. Or you would notice. You would notice more easily. Okay, because human beings are so complex. Okay, you can have tons of things that go in a circle, and there are variances. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, hola. There's my beautiful Latina. There she is. Good morning. That's Marlene, by the way, just in case you don't know. So your your manifestation, okay, or your manifestation abilities depend on your ability to see. Okay, to see what? To see the truth. Okay, because when you see the truth, okay, you will know the truth, okay, and the truth will set you free. Free from what? Free from whatever you're bound to in your subconscious. Okay, Jesus Christ was telling you all of these things. He gave you the answers. Okay, because he was the first rebel against the systems of things. Okay, the banking system, the commerce system, the money system, the banking system, all these systems. Systems don't expire, they don't go away, they just change. Okay? So systems change form. They get modified, they get more sophisticated, right? As we continue through life. And now we have the technological age where things are accelerating. Why? Because we have the technology to do it. Okay, we didn't have this technology back in the 60s and 70s and 50s and 40s. Okay, but we see a slow progression of things. Were people, uh, let's say, subject to the systems of things in the 50s? Oh, yeah, sure. And a lot of them were sleepwalking as well. But the parameters were different. Okay, the boundaries were different. The subjectivity was different. Okay, so your thoughts shape your brain. Okay, it influences you. Okay, so subconscious tree, your subconscious beliefs affect your paradigm. Your paradigm gets built based upon the things you believe, your core beliefs. Okay, your actions are influenced by your paradigm, the way you see the world, your attitude, your worldview, and those fruits. Okay, so right, we talk about the fruits all the time. Okay, your fruits bring results. You shall know them by their fruits. So don't pay attention to what people say. They can say anything. Don't pay attention to what I say. Look it up. Don't believe me. I'm not here so that you believe me. I'm here to offer inspirational talks so that you go, "Oh, really?" And you look it up because you don't believe me. Okay? So don't believe me. Okay? I'm not here to be believed. I'm here to inspire thought. Because when you start thinking on your own, when you start thinking as an independent being, and I mean apart from the systems of things, you're going to find out, wow, yeah, it's a different world. My client Sarah, who joins us every morning over here, okay, my client Sarah has made tremendous progress, and she's been pulled out so that she can look back in. How did we do that? Through her voice. Okay. Marlene is another. This is Marlene right here. Okay. Marlene is another one. She's being pulled out with her voice. Okay. I have tons of clients on here that join me for the live on the chat section. Some of my clients are in the US mainland, some are in the UK, some are in Hawaii. Okay. It just depends. I see clients from all over the world. My clients in Hawaii are professionals, the clients that I see. So I'm basically, if you want to quantify what I do, I'm a professional coach. Okay, so I coach professionals. I'm an executive coach. Okay, but the reason I do this is to wake more people up, because there's a lot of confusion out there, because you have two sides, and with technology, the two sides are amplified. And because the two sides are amplified, they start pulling everybody like that. And the pull is stronger than it was 10 years ago. It's stronger than it was 20 years ago. So what do you believe? Okay, so, the way I put it, right? If you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way, you're a believer. Stop believing and start seeing. In other words, belief is one thing and knowing is another. If you go within the kingdom that Jesus Christ told you about, right? The kingdom is within. If you go within the kingdom, you will know. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But people don't go within the kingdom, do they? Right? Most people, okay? The majority of people, because they're stuck out here like moths to a light bulb. They're stuck out here to the activity. Oh, they get distracted out here. Okay, they get distracted with this thing, right? They're scrolling. Okay, and because you cannot unsee things, you get desensitized. And pretty soon, things that were outrageous the first time you saw it, no big thing. Just kind of go through it like that, right? But this is causing you damage in here. Okay, what kind of damage? Is it noticeable damage? No, and that's the thing. It's not noticeable damage. It's in your subconscious. And when your subconscious is influenced, or let's say it another way, okay, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. And when you keep thinking a thought and it becomes a belief in your subconscious looks for ways to make it reality. It helps you. Okay, and this is why it works for the positive, okay, for good stuff. Because you can program good stuff in your subconscious and it will keep bringing it to you. It doesn't matter if it's money or relationships or whatever it is. But when you install these beliefs about positive things or good things, it starts looking for ways to make it happen. So why is it that we're attracted so much to negativity? It's evolutionary. Humans are naturally inclined to negativity bias. So we look for the negative stuff because we're looking for the threat. Okay, so for the last couple of days, we were talking about narcissism, okay? And, narcissism basically is an extreme, okay? By the time someone gets to be a narcissist, it's pretty extreme, okay? But your subconscious reinforces that, okay? If you're involved with a narcissist, you need to get out. You need to bail out. Okay, two of my females that were married to narcissists recently has described that process, the disconnect process, as an escape. That's how severe it was. Okay, they say, I escaped a narcissist. Because that's what it is. You're going to have to escape. It's that bad. Okay, but today we're going to talk more about manifestation. We're going to talk more about how you can change things. Okay, and I think tomorrow we may go over universal laws. So today Jay is not with us today. She's on a trip. So we have no moderator over here on this side. Okay, so this is good. This is going to be fun. So if you have a comment and I miss it, I'm sorry. Normally she pins comments and questions, but I'll do my best. Okay, I'll do my best. So there's optimism and pessimism, right? And you've heard this, right? Optimism means you look for the good stuff. Pessimism is a person who looks for the bad stuff or clings to the negative side or that kind of thing, right? So expectation is a thing. Expectation, okay, has a lot to do with your manifestation. And like I said, manifestation is everything in your life, in your immediate world, okay? How your family operates, you have manifested, okay? Because they are reacting to you. Everything out here reacts to everything in here. When you change something in here, so let's say you're in a relationship and your husband or wife is acting in a way that you don't want them to act, you have to change in here. And when you change in here, guess what? They react different. Guess what? You have changed the situation. Okay. So when you start to expect things to go wrong, right? It starts going wrong. Why is that? Because it goes into your subconscious as a belief. And the belief is, I'm looking for something wrong. And your subconscious goes, oh, we're looking for wrong. Okay, let me see if I can make that happen. And it starts looking for the things that are wrong because it looks for confirmation. It tries to confirm, okay, yeah, this is going wrong. This is going wrong. Remember when you failed in high school? That was wrong. You remember when you went on a date and she didn't want to see you anymore because she thought you were needy? Okay, that's wrong. That kind of thing. It could be for anything. Remember the time you entered a contest and you didn't win and you spent all that money buying tickets and it didn't, you see, all of that. But this is not punishment from God. Okay, God does not punish. If you're in a religious system that is telling you that, oh, God is going to punish you, God is going to judge you, God is going to, okay, you're in the wrong religion. Or maybe not the wrong religion, but the wrong church. Or maybe not the wrong church, but the wrong temple. But you're in the wrong place. Okay? Fear does a lot of things. Okay? Number one, it makes people give money. Why? Well, they want to be on the right side. Just like people want to be on the right side of history. Same thing. You want to be on the winning team. And if that team is preaching fire and brimstone, yeah, you want to keep supporting that team. Okay? You judge. Okay? I judge. We all judge through our subconscious. Okay, that's where judgment happens. So when you hear that expression that says, judge not and ye shall not be judged, it's talking about your subconscious. Because when you judge, your subconscious does not know if you're passing judgment on somebody else or if you're passing judgment on yourself. It just knows judgment. That's it. And what happens eventually is when you start passing judgment, you start suffering judgment. And that's for anything, okay? When you start thinking bad about someone, and this is why forgiveness is important. Okay, forgiveness is important so you disconnect from that energy. So you disconnect from that thought process. So that your subconscious doesn't memorize it and go, okay, here, this is what you do. You judge. You're critical. You're striking out. Okay, because you see these people all the time. You see it more online now, right? And this is the amplification of narcissism. Okay, and this is being amplified through technology, through electronics. Because they feel superior. Because they're looking for that superiority. They strike out, right? They strike out. If you see some of these comments on social media, and you remember who they are, and then you see them again, oh, same kind of comment again. You see them again, oh, same kind of comment again. So social media is a great case study because you can see these people and you see exactly who they are. You may not see exactly who they, sometimes they have a little cat as a profile, right? They have a dog, they have a flower, whatever, right? Okay, because they don't have the guts to put their picture there, or they're old, right? Old people do this a lot. Old people don't put their picture there because they don't like the way they look. That's low self esteem. Okay, that's low self image. Why would they not like the way they look? They've probably done something that went into their subconscious, right? So when they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see, so of course they don't put it in public. Okay? You need to embrace what you see. Okay? If you don't like what you see, you need to work on that so that you accept. Okay? Acceptance is the first step. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, only the body ages. In here, okay, you stay the same, right? You feel the same in here when you were, what, 17, 19, 25, 35, 45. And now maybe you're 55, but you feel the same way. It's almost as if you feel cheated sometimes. It's like, wow, this body got older. I got wrinkles now. Like, I look at my hands. I look at my hands when I'm playing guitar. I'm like, man, my fingers didn't have these much wrinkles on it before when I was watching it play. And now, they're better. They move faster, right? I play better, but I'm like, man, I don't remember all those wrinkles. See? Okay. But part of this is social conditioning, right? So you see the ads, the commercials, right? They make you feel bad about wrinkles. They make you feel bad about blemishes. They make you feel bad about things. And you're watching the commercial. Oh, I need that serum. I need that cream. I need that thing. And I can't wrinkle because wrinkles equal bad, right? Bad thing. And pretty soon, they don't want to look in the mirror. Pretty soon, they don't like who they are. But it's more a result of what they've done. Because God doesn't judge, because you do through your subconscious. Try doing good things and helping people. Try assisting people. Try giving to people. Try doing all of those things. When you look in the mirror, you get a better feeling. Okay, this is a thing. This is the way human beings work. But this is a good place to hide. People love to hide in here. Why? Well, because it's safe in here, right? But your subconscious is the one that needs to become more accepting. Because then your subconscious goes, oh, we're accepting this? Oh, okay. Oh, I can look at myself in the mirror now. So one of the exercises, right? We have our clients write down 100 positive I ams. Okay? I am friendly. I am kind. I am loyal. I am whatever I am. Okay? About themselves. Most of my clients in the beginning don't get to 100. Okay? You can get to 100. And then I have them read it out loud to themselves in the mirror. Why do I do that? Sounds crazy? Why does it sound crazy? Because of what you've been taught. Okay? And that is crazy. Okay, so the opposite is true in many things in life. Okay? But when you read to yourself in the mirror, positive affirmations, doesn't matter what it is, or when you have a friendly talk with yourself in the mirror, your subconscious recognizes your image, okay, you, okay, over everyone else. In other words, it favors your image over everyone else because it knows your image more than everyone else because you see yourself every day if you have a mirror. It hears your voice and it favors your voice over everyone else. It listens to you. It pays attention to your voice. When you speak, it starts listening. Why? Because it's conditioned. This is why when you start writing your affirmations, you have to be faithful. You have to write it for 66 days. Why? Because you need to wake your subconscious up. Your subconscious is autopilot, okay? So everything that's been programmed into your subconscious, that's already there, that's already having you wash, rinse, repeat in so many things. And there's a myriad of things. It's not just one thing. It's not just one paradigm. It's not just one program. You're more sophisticated than that. You're more intelligent than that. It's tons of things. So you switch back and forth depending on what it is, what the topic is, what the subject is, what the place is, what the person is. Okay? It's like when you watch a news show, right? You see the camera go from this person to that person, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. In the news center, in the control room, sits a director, and the director cues up these things, directs the shots in real time. It's the most amazing thing to watch. Okay, I've been in control centers many times, and I've watched directors, and I still don't know how they do that. And they go, this one, that one, this one, that one, and they're making decisions like this, okay? But they've been trained like that. Their subconscious knows how to do it better than they do. Okay, Dr. Joe Dispenza describes it as your body knowing how to do it better than your mind. And what he's really talking about is your subconscious. So they don't say these things, right? Because they're charging a lot of money and they need customers, okay? Your subconscious learns to do it more than your conscious mind. Why is that? Well, 95% of your life is subconscious. Your conscious mind is 5%. That's it. So you choose with the conscious mind. As you repeat it a few times, it goes into your subconscious. Subconscious takes over. Conscious mind is like, I'm done. I'm out. You're no longer conscious of it. Think about that. So the subconscious is also called the unconscious. Okay, there's different ways to describe this. But when your subconscious takes over, you don't think about it anymore, not consciously. It becomes automatic. You don't have to learn how to brush your teeth every morning. You don't have to learn how to drive the car every day. If we didn't have a subconscious, life would be very, very strenuous. And a lot of learning involved, a lot of learning required. Okay, so cause and effect is a thing. Punishment is not a thing. When you do something, you get a result. It's not God going, well, you did this, bad, we're going to punish you. Now you suffer this. No, it's not like that at all. There are circumstantial things, but you attract things to you as well. And this is why they say it's how you react to something, right? Why do they say that? It's how you react to a situation. Because that sets up the next step. Okay? So when you start to think of how exactly you want to, set up the next step, when you put some thought into it, you can predict the response. You can predict the reaction. Okay? You can predict it. It's predictable. Why? Well, think it out. Think it out in advance. Okay, but most people don't. Most people don't think it out in advance. And then what happens? Well, they just act. They just respond. Not thinking like, okay, if I did this, this might happen, or that might happen, or this might happen. No, they just do it. And that sets up the next action. When it sets up the next action and something happens, they react to that. So something that, normally could go like this, sometimes it goes here, then it goes there, and it goes here, and it goes there, and then the unpredictable happens, and people wonder, okay, how did this escalate into something so amazingly terrible? It's how you respond to things. So this is why my clients become the observer, because the vocalization exercise pulls them out so that they can observe. So when I was in the entertainment industry for a while, because it was my dream, so I was always teaching, I was always a teacher, and I went into the entertainment industry to try to do something, right? So I went into radio and television for a long time, and stayed there for a long time. And that made it easier for me to leverage being in the entertainment industry. I belong to neither. I don't belong to the broadcast industry. Nobody out there mentions me in the broadcast industry in that context. Nobody out there mentions me in the entertainment world context. Okay? Nobody out there classifies me into either. Why is that? Because you can be in something but not of something. Okay? I spent 4 hours a day in the broadcasting industry, and then I went back to my companies. I went back to my office. I went back to my world that I built and designed for myself and the people around me, and the people that came, and the people that we serviced, and the clients that we have. So this is why Christians say you can be in the world and not of the world. You don't have to belong to the world, but you can be in it. You can observe it. You can live in it. You can prosper in it. Why? Because the kingdom is within. And all you do is attract into the kingdom. How do you do that? Through your subconscious. Okay? Depending on what you believe. Okay? So you get back to all the, as a man thinketh. You get back to all the, you will be rewarded according to what you do. Okay? And that's just reflecting back to the subconscious. Saint Catherine of Siena said, you will be rewarded unto the results of your amount of your giving. Basically, that's what she's saying. Okay, so basically, you will be so if you give a lot, you get a lot. You will be rewarded for that. You give a little, you get a little. That kind of thing. Okay, so it just depends. It depends on what you believe, your core beliefs, because your core beliefs shape your paradigm. Your paradigm dictates your actions give you results. It's that simple. And this is manifestation. It's not a magical thing that you do. Okay? Yeah, you can pray to evil spirits. Yeah, you can do witchcraft. You can do all of that. But you don't need to put effort into that. Because everything around you is automatically that. You just have to see it for what it is. Some people go, well, this thing just happened to me. So what happened to you before that? What were you thinking before that? What did you do? What action did you take before that? Or how did you react to that resulted in this thing that happened, right? Right, Marlene? Thank you, Marlene. Okay. So, in relationships, okay, people are drawn to hope, openness, and flexibility. Okay, and love. Okay, sometimes these things become conditional. Okay, sometimes a lot of things become conditional. Okay, because a lot of things become conditional because we expect something, right? And this goes back to the expectation. Are you expecting something positive? Okay, optimism. Or are you expecting something negative? Pessimism. The pessimist always receives. Okay? The optimist always receives. Okay? Always. Okay? I can't tell you how many guys, men, that come to me, but they only come to me when, because they're men, right? Men don't ask for directions. Okay? Men always come to me when they're on the last 9 yards, when they hear the D word. Okay, when they hear that word, divorce. Okay, then they come to me. Oh, Junior, I need your help. How do I do this? How do I salvage this marriage? And the number one problem with these men is, number one, they've been married too long. Okay? I don't mean marriage is a bad thing. Marriage is a good thing if you know how to manage, if you know how to lead. But leadership is tiring. It's a big job because you go to work for 8 hours or whatever it is, right? You come home. Then you have to work again in the relationship. It's a job. It's a job. And most men are tired when they come home. What do they want? They want a remote, they want a meal or whatever it is, a beer, the game, whatever, okay? And they just want to woosah, right? They just want to let it all go and let the tension go, unwind, because they have another day tomorrow. But when they come home, there's another job waiting for them. So these guys that come see me, right? They need to establish leadership all over again. And married men are the hardest guys to do. Hardest guys to say, hey, look, you got to do this. You got to lead. You have to be proactive. It's about proactivity. It's not about control. It's not about telling your wife, oh, ordering her around, do this, do that. No. You've established this environment a long time ago. How does this happen? Men relinquish leadership very early in a relationship, very early in a marriage. Oh, honey, whatever you want. No, we'll do what you want. Sure, you want to do this? Yeah, we'll do. Okay, sure. Where do you want? Let's go out to dinner. Well, where do you want to go? You see? After a while, right, this becomes responsibility on the female end. Okay, and I'm touching on different things because this applies to everything in life, everything. It applies to money, it applies to relationships, it applies to everything. And pretty soon she's doing all the work. Emotionally, she's carrying all the weight. Why? Well, because I just go to my job, I come home and let her decide. Let her do it, right? But what I'm talking about is your subconscious conditioning, okay? Your subconscious conditioning that has you wash, rinse, repeat these things over a period of years, okay? Sometimes 10 years, sometimes 15 years. Whatever you want, honey. Whatever you want, sweetheart. Whatever you want. And now she's making the decisions. Okay? What happens? Well, role reversal. Okay? I don't talk about relationships too much because the algorithms start shutting me down. But role reversal happens. Okay? Leadership is switched. It's relinquished from the man to the woman. The woman starts wearing the pants, making the decisions, the boss of the house, however you want to say it. Okay, but she starts exhibiting leadership. She starts operating in the masculine. He starts operating in the feminine. Because you can't have both, okay? So if I meet a very feminine woman, I know she has a strong man. Because you can't have two masculine energies going on. And you can't have two feminine energies going on. Okay? When one starts to turn masculine, the other one starts to turn feminine. What are the feminine actions? Oh, whatever you want. Whatever. Submissive. Whatever you want. Whatever. Okay, yeah, we'll just do it, okay? When men become leaders, that's the response they get from their women. It's not sexist, it's not anything other than biology. But role reversal is a thing, okay? So in homes where the female leads, those siblings naturally, because they see this, because humans are subject to their environment, they carry it into their house. And this is why we see the repeat, okay, the generational repeat of these actions that usually all result in the same thing. Okay? And that same thing is divorce court in that instance. Okay? So in that instance, yeah, same result. So what happens when they come to see me? Well, I have to teach them how to lead. I have to say, no, you have to be proactive. It's about proactivity. It's about taking responsibility. It's about those things. So when you give things up, it's in the best of intentions sometimes, right? Whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. What you're really doing is you're going, okay, I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do the work. Let you do the work. Let you do the work. And that's where things start to change, because the roles start to reverse. But these things become subconscious. Okay, it becomes subconscious. Sorry, I'm trying to, okay, thank you, user. Thank you for detailing how men relinquish their roles. I understand. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But they don't do it because they want to. Men don't do it because they want to. If they're doing it unconsciously, okay, if they're doing it because they want to be the good guy, if they're doing it because they want peace in the house, they don't understand the long-term effects. That's all. Okay? So there's a song that one of my students was doing called One Beer. Okay? And it's a country song, right? I thought it was amusing because there's a lot of truth in that song. It all starts with one beer. Okay? And this is the last thing I'm going to talk about relationships, because my algorithm is probably going to start slowing down. Okay? So one beer. Okay? It all started with one beer. Relationships start that way. And the song talks about, okay, well, we're going into this relationship. How did it start? It started with one beer. Oh, how did that go? Well, you go to the bar, the club, the venue. Okay, see the girl. Wow, that's a beautiful woman, right? Oh, I want to get to know her. Okay, buy her a drink. Starts with one beer. Okay, pretty soon, right? The dating happens. Pretty soon, the marriage happens. Pretty soon, the kids happen. And it all started with one beer. And this is how most relationships are formed. Most men don't study female nature. Most men don't study these things. They don't study their subconscious. They don't study any of these things. That's why we have modernmalesconfidence.com. And that's where I train young men. Men in their 20s. Okay, now there's a lot of different dynamics in the world now. And one of the biggest needs for young men is, oh, how do I speak to her face to face? How do I interact with her? How do I? Okay, but these things don't change. Okay, so these things don't change, and over time, biology stays the same, right? But it's the sociological dynamics that change. Okay, now there's dating sites, right? There's dating apps. There's digital online dating. Okay, whereas before you had to show up in person, you had to do the work, you had to walk across that bar, and when she says no, you have to walk back, right? And there was shame involved, right? That kind of thing. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. But anyway, okay, we're gonna leave the relationship talk like that, because my algorithms start limiting like that, because we have very liberal algorithms. Okay. And you can dispute anything, okay? You can dispute anything. But I will tell you one thing, okay? Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, there are things that will trigger each based upon their biology, okay? All you have to do is know what those things are, okay? So if you're a woman, okay, And most women know. Most women learn very early. Most men don't because they're focused on the video game. They're focused on the, football game. Today's Super Bowl, by the way, so enjoy your Super Bowl, guys, if you're doing that, and ladies. So, you know, but yeah, study female nature before you get in the relationship. Okay, study about females, how they work. They're different than us. Okay, guys. So check it out. If you need help with that, modernmalesconfidence.com. Okay, we have a program. Okay, it teaches you how to lead. It teaches you how to be the leader. People ask me all the time, "Oh, uncle, how do you get girls? How do you get girls? How do you get girls?" It's not so much about how you get girls. Okay, it's about how you communicate. Okay, because once you learn the communication, everything is easy. Everything flows, and then all you do is choose. All you do is choose. That's it. Because women want men. Most women. Okay, some women want women, and it is what it is. Okay, but most women are looking for decent men. Okay, that know how to be men. All right. So now, when when you are flexible, okay, it means that you are not locked in to your subconscious. Okay. Now we're back to manifestation. That was manifestation in relationships. This is manifestation in general. When you're flexible with things, okay, because some people are stubborn, okay, that's fixed. When people are fixed on something, okay, and when you are fixed on something, thank you so much, user. Thank you, thank you. When you are fixed on something, you are inflexible. And then you just keep getting the same thing. Okay? So I have clients like that. In fact, one of my clients told me this past week, right? He said, we're talking about trying things. We're talking about sales and marketing, and we're talking about business. He's one of my business clients. And his comment was, well, this is not working, so why do we keep doing it? Okay, and this is the you keep trying, right? So Colonel Sanders, right? He failed 1,000 times before he got picked up, and then the rest is history, right? Then the big doors open. Okay, but what this really involves is investing time. Okay, investing time in what you're doing. Okay, perfecting your sales pitch, perfecting your marketing, perfecting what it is you do. But I guess whatever he had read or personal development things that he's reading, he goes, oh, no, no, but that's the definition of insanity. If it doesn't work, why do we keep doing it? Okay. And there's a whole bunch of variables there. Okay. There's a bunch of variables there. But when you hear stuff like this, and the reason I'm mentioning it is because I thought about it, right? Just so you know, okay, you need to put a little effort into things, okay? So there's two types of effort. There's mental effort where you think it and it happens. Okay? A lot of people are unaware of that. Okay? But you can think something into being. You can speak something into being through your subconscious. But when you think something into being, it has to be precision, concentrated focus. Okay? It cannot be just a random thought and then you let it go. Random thought, let it go. No. You have to have that kind of discipline. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay? So I have this tablet here that I keep under my desk. Okay? So these are affirmations. This is not journaling. These are affirmations. Okay? So these are directives for your subconscious. It gives your subconscious direction. It says we are going here. Okay, the conscious mind picks the target. It says, okay, we are targeting this. Now, this could be a relationship. This could be money. This could be a new car. This could be a new house. This could be a new job. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you attain focus, that you focus on the goal. So if you want to call it goal setting, call it goal setting. Okay, because manifestation sounds a little mystical, right? Okay, but in marketing, it makes a lot of money because people go, oh, okay, I want to sign up. Yeah, manifest. Yeah, you mean I could just write something and it shows up? It's not that simple. It takes 66 days for an affirmation. Okay, so I am so happy and grateful now that I'm confident. Thank you. Okay, 66 days for that to make that a belief, a solid belief in your subconscious. Now, around the 2 week mark, and I have a client in Alabama that I was on with yesterday. Okay, that that is actually feeling the results of 2 weeks worth of affirmations. 2 weeks. And you could, yeah, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel settled. And this is voice work. So this is affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, all at the same time. But he's starting to feel the results. And I'm like, yeah, it's a real thing. People don't understand how highly intelligent they are. If you want to see a miracle, I always say, if you want to see a miracle, go in the bathroom, turn on the light, okay? Look in the mirror. There's your miracle. Okay, your miracle is here, but you have eyes that look out there. You're looking at other people's miracles going, wow, wish I could do that. Wow, he's so lucky. He has all the money, or he has the house, or he has the hot wife, or he has the whatever, or she has this, she has the shoes, she has the Louis Vuitton bag, she has the job, she has the marketing, whatever it is. But you're paying attention to the physical world. Okay? You guys that are going to church later on today, okay, church people, the kingdom is within. Mark 11:24. Ask, believe, receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall open. Where? In here, in the kingdom. You knock in here. You seek in here. Close your distractors like this. Okay, now go and seek. You've been deceived in the way, okay, hear me out. You've been deceived in the way that you think you should look out here. You think the answers are out here. You think the solutions are here in the physical world with physical things. Yet these things were made by man. Okay, someone else is in here. So you stay in the prison. The prison is here. Okay. Can you make the prison work for you? Can you get out of prison? Can you set yourself free from prison? Yeah, of course, sure. You can unlock the door, okay, which means open your mind. Okay, when you open your mind, you start to see things as possibilities. Okay, when your mind is closed, you see everything as a dead end. It's a dead end street. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. However you want to say it, doesn't matter. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Globe Traveler. Good morning. Welcome. People that cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel end up in the darkness. And these days, some very, very young people are caught up in that darkness and they're ending it all. They're checking out because they can't handle it. They don't want to handle it. They don't want to be here because they can't see, because this one is locked. The prison door is shut. The blinders are on. Okay, the veil does not lift. But when you go within the kingdom, okay, when you go in here, when you close your eyes, that's why the meditation is important. It sharpens your intuition. Let me say it another way. The feeling that you get for directives, like I should do this, I should do that. You're driving down the street, you get that feeling you should turn right. You say no, you dismiss it because you have free will, and you end up in a traffic jam. What do you say? You go, I knew I should have turned. I knew I should have made that turn. Because you had that feeling. You had that intuitive feeling. I knew I should have turned back there. So what dismissed it? Your ego. The ego always thinks it knows better. Okay, so your ego said, no, just go. Okay, never mind. And you get stuck in the traffic jam, but you say, no, I knew I should have turned. You did know. You actually did know. How many times has that happened to you? A lot. That's intuition. Okay, every human being has it. But in some human beings that are so distracted by all the things by the movies, the TV shows, the entertainment, the football games, the whatever it is, they don't feel that. They become numb. Why? Because they're distracted into everything. Okay. Some highly educated people, right? So left brain logic, okay? Some highly educated people don't feel it either because they keep dismissing it. Oh, that's not logical. No, that's not logical. And yeah, I have this thought, but it's not logical. Okay. So it's not just people that are involved in all these extracurricular activities or entertainment or distractions or social media. No, it's not. There are some educators. I've worked with educators, professors that I've had to pull out of this mouse wheel, this subconscious mouse wheel that happens. Okay. I had this one professor a couple years ago. She was up for tenure. And she goes, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen. I said, no, you have to know it's going to happen. You have to write affirmations. You have to do affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. And I had her do it. And she started doing it. And I worked with her for a year. Guess what happened? She got her tenure. Because she started believing in herself. What happens when you start believing in yourself? Okay, God first, then you. Okay, but what happens when you start believing in yourself? Your subconscious goes, oh, okay, we believe in ourselves? Okay. And it starts creating actions that lead, okay, to avenues that result in believing in yourself. And what does that do? Is that positive or negative? It's positive. So what are your results? Positive. Because why? Because you believed in yourself. I know Christians that will go to churches today all over the world. Well, the ones I know are here on Oahu, in Hawaii. But Christians will go to church all over the world because they're stuck in the story, because they're stuck in the rituals. Yeah, it's a ritual. Going to church every Sunday is a ritual. Who'd have thunk it? But they don't believe in themselves, but they believe in the superconscious. Okay. Conscious, subconscious, superconscious. The superconscious represents God, source, consciousness. They believe in that, but they don't believe in this, yet they are an extension of that. Okay, your energy in here. You're not your body, you're not your name, you're that energy that lives in here. You are an extension of the Creator. You are the Creator's creation. You are connected to the Creator in here. Everything in the universe is energy. You are a co-creator with the Creator, which means that your subconscious can create with the superconscious. God can only work with what the subconscious has in it. So if you're praying for something, and in your subconscious, you have a negative program that works against it that says, no, I'm not worthy of that, or says, no, I can't do that. Or says, no, that's not for me. That's only for rich people. Or, oh, that's just for people that, can afford to go to college. No, I can't do that, Then you'll never get the grants. You'll never get the scholarships because you won't make steps towards those things. Why? Because you feel, the key word is feel, because you feel that you can't. The other thing is the how. People get stuck on hows. How do I do this? How do I do that? I'm trying to figure out how. There's no logical explanation for how this is going to happen. So now you're stuck because you're not moving. Fear paralyzes you. Okay? And when you don't find the logical answer, what happens? You're afraid to move. You're afraid to proceed. Why? Well, because if I do that, that's illogical. That's not going to work out. That's going to be, right? That's going to end in disaster. That's going to be bad. That's going to be a bad result if I do that. I'm going to lose. I'm going to, whatever. I'm just saying, okay? But that's what it is. Okay, so I don't have Jay to tell me that I need to go. Hi, patients. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Herman. Good morning. So anyway, I don't have Jay, but I'm watching the clock really good. I think I did well. Watching the clock, normally I don't. Normally I get into my explanations a lot. But yeah, so we will see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Hawaii time, wherever you are in the world. We're on 7 platforms. If you're watching us on YouTube or Trovo or TikTok, Facebook, we have 2 Facebook pages right now that are live. So